Mademoiselle and sa se deuxième Chanel wè aujourd'hui nous allons parler des lois Marinette Bwa Sech or Marinette Bwa Sech. Now, the direct translation of Bwa Sech is dry arms, and the direct translation for Bwa Sech is dry feet. She is known as either or. She is often referred to as a mumbo Marinette, but for this video, I'm going to be calling her Marinette because it's a lot easier to say that. I'm gonna forget to say mumbo Marinette, so sorry, no disrespect. Now, just to let you guys know, Marinette is definitely the most disrespected and most misunderstood Lwa that I probably will ever cover in this series. Now, a lot of people mistake her as being very, very angry, evil, horrible, and everything under the sun that you can relate to those words. And she is actually known to be one of the few Lwa that was actually a person. Now, this is something I never really covered before because I really didn't want to go down that avenue, but just a quick little preface real quick. There are some people that end up dying in the Haitian voodoo religion, and I believe in other voodoo religions that this goes as well, where they actually end up becoming Lwa. And it is also believed that many Haitian families also have a Lwa of their own. So to be quite honest with you, there's so many Lwa that we will probably never ever finish this series. So please do not ask me to cover every Lwa ever. I'll probably only be covering basic ones, you know, the ones that we all kind of know and the ones that people most commonly serve. But for the preface of this video and some of the Lwa that I will cover in the near future, just keep in mind that a lot of the Lwa sometimes were actual real people in real life, and when they died did become a Lwa. We will be talking about her in her petrol form in this video. So Marinette Bwa Sech was actually said to be the mumbo that sacrificed a pig at the Haitian ceremony that set off the Haitian Revolution. Now, you guys are probably like, wait, what? How come I never heard of her? Now, the thing is with the Haitian Revolution, there's a lot of things that they do not tell us about it, and there's a lot of things that are left out. There's a lot of things about the Haitian Revolution that for whatever reason just never makes it to the forefront, and I'm going to make a detailed video about what happened in the Haitian Revolution one of these days, because that's just going to be a very long video, very detailed video. Probably going to do it on January 1st because I think it'd be great, you know, while eating my little soup jumeau, you know. Comment down below if you really want it. But I'm definitely also going to start another series on the women of the Haitian Revolution because I feel like there's so many of them and no one ever gives them credit. No one ever talks about them, and that's like a real big issue. Women are never recognized in history. Women are never given the credit that they deserve. And most importantly, that is probably why Marinette Bwa Sech is probably seen as the most angry, disrespectful, evil Lwa ever. And I think it's because she's very, very misunderstood. Now, for the most part, a lot of people don't really serve her because of the reputation that she has. However, she's actually the cousin of Erzulie. Please make sure that you guys go watch that video. She is the wife of Tijan Dontour and the mistress of Petro et Rouge or Petro et Rouge. I've heard it two different ways. So please keep in mind that before we get on to the rest of this video, we are not going to disrespect anyone's religion. If I see you disrespecting anyone's religion, I will block you. Someone will curse you out. We're not doing any of that over here. We respect, we learn, and we try to share each other's stories down below. Although many are afraid of her, she is known as the Lwa of bondage and freedom. When she comes and she possesses people, she is known to possess them very violently. She is represented by screech owls and is seen as the protector of werewolves. And her Catholic counterpart is Anima Sola. Now, those of you guys who are of Hispanic heritage or are of the Catholic religion would know a little bit about Anima Sola. I've been to Catholic church. I was raised in a Catholic church. However, I never knew about Anima Sola, probably because I'm Haitian. Comment down below if you know about Anima Sola. Anima Sola is essentially a purgatory figure. If you guys have seen any images of her, usually she's depicted of like a mixed race, but usually like flames of purgatory. The image of Anima Sola is actually kind of scary sometimes. Sometimes she doesn't look as bad, but a lot of times she does not look that great. A lot of times she is depicted as a woman, but there are some cases that that Mademoiselle is actually a man, chained up, suffering, tattered up clothes, sometimes burnt up. Like, there's some very interesting images out there. If you guys are not Catholic, let me just break it down to you what purgatory is. Now, purgatory is essentially, I like to call it the waiting room of the afterlife. We have heaven and we have hell. Many Catholics believe that in purgatory, you are literally there to wait to see if you're going to go to heaven or hell. Typically, you're there to work off any sins or any bad things that you have done in this life so that you can finally go to heaven. And basically, Mademoiselle is the figurehead for this part of the afterlife. Usually purgatory is depicted as like a stone prison. Sometimes it kind of just looks like a crossroad or like a fog. And realistically speaking, a lot of people do make it out of there while a lot of people do not. Basically, purgatory is supposed to be a redemption realm. A lot of people use her image as a representation for people to pray for those who have passed on. Now, usually when you see Mademoiselle, she doesn't look that scary, but she also doesn't look that pleasant. And the same goes for Marinette. And I will say that if you Google up Marinette, a lot of very annoying things will come up. They've even made a cartoon about her, and I don't like it at all because they masculated her. They made her turn into a man. Okay, you know what? Let's read this little excerpt about this Marvel movie real quick because I just listen to this bullshit.
She escaped the Bontier and inhabited the body of a man who sought help at a New Orleans medical clinic to ambush the attacked Dr. Voodoo. As Dr. Doom transported himself to the site to battle Voodoo himself, Marinette Bwa Sech retreated into her host. She is a Marvel character, a man nonetheless.
Marvel, respectfully, suck my ass, okay? Get my mo. I don't fucking understand. Who the hell thought it was okay to do this? I have no idea how the fuck the Haitians did not catch wind of this shit, but this is just disgusting. Like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear anyone trying to defend this bullshit because it's no. It's just horrible. It's a no. It's a no. It's a no. It's a no. Like, why? Y'all had nothing else to do. You had nothing else to write. Like, who the fuck? I wouldn't know, and I guarantee you had to be a white person. It couldn't have been a Haitian. If it was, it could have been Haitian. I would hope that my Haitians knew better than to do some bullshit like this. Fuck you. I don't like Marvel at all. The only good thing Marvel's ever done is Black Panther. I don't give a fuck. Fuck y'all. Anybody that's mad about it, be mad about it. Honestly, this is why when a lot of people are like, oh my God, why can't white people practice voodoo? Oh my God, you guys are gatekeeping Haitian culture. This is why. Why would you guys go and take Haitian culture and try to make a mockery out of it by making this woman a cartoon and then going to mock the Haitian voodoo religion by trying to make her transform into a man? Honestly, it's just a hot ass mess. I really can't. I'm not going to go down that road right now. But the whole depiction of her is just, it is pretty scary, but most of the time she's skeletal and she does not really look human-like at all, especially not compared to the other Loa. She is usually in a skeletal form, typically kind of like a black figure, big hair. Sometimes she has a cane with her. Another thing that is very, very key to her appearance are her shackles. And for the most part, she's usually alone. She likes to be alone. She does not like being bothered. You know, I say this a lot about a lot of different Loa, but this one, she does not like being bothered. And most people who do serve her, ooh, when I'm telling you, they are feared, child. They are, child. The common misconception about her is deep. If anyone serves her, please comment down below because I had a hard time finding anyone in person that was even willing to even talk or even explain anything because it was just a lot. So it took me a long time to get this one out to you guys. But it's just very interesting how many people are afraid of people that serve her. It's kind of like the people that serve Baon Samdi. People are kind of like eased up to Baon Samdi now, but it's like the Marinette people, oh mes amis. You say you serve Marinette, it's like red, scared, shook, bitch, weird. But the thing is, she's just very, very, very protective. She will never leave your side. Even though she doesn't like to be bothered, she is always there. She will be like your shadow if you follow her, if you are in danger, if you need emotional support, if you are in need of any type of protection whatsoever, she will be there. You will probably never have to call on her because she gonna be there. She is a ride or die type of Loa. Like all the Loa are ride or die, but this Loa right here, if you serve her and you serve her right, she will always have your back. And realistically, this whole situation of her being so angry angry and evil or whatever kind of goes from her anger of what happened at the Haitian Revolution and for her not getting her credit. I mean, realistically, you went all of these years knowing damn well you did something and you never got the credit for it. Wouldn't you be mad? And then all of a sudden you get cartoon characters and all of these damn narratives being spun about you and it technically wasn't true. Wouldn't you be mad? And then all of a sudden people are saying you this angry black woman. Like, come on now. Like, wouldn't you be mad? Like, it's actually pretty damn annoying. So to be quite honest with you, I feel like she's just very, very misunderstood. And a lot of other misinformation that you will find about this is that, like, you know, all her ceremonies take place in the deep dark woods and you have to sacrifice black crows and black pigs and black goats. The misinformation on the internet, like, this is why I make these videos, because some things are just really not accurate.
Honestly, I had to come in and touch on this for a little bit. This is also true but not true. This is mainly for people who are trying to call on her to cause harm onto people. She is a very justice-bound spirit, and many people call onto her to cause harm onto other people. But also, please keep in mind, like I've said in previous videos, you are free to watch those. I will link them down below, or you can search for them on my channel. You never want to use Haitian voodoo to harm other people. Contrary to popular belief, this is a very karmic religion. If you are going to use Haitian voodoo to harm other people, you have to understand that it will always bounce back onto you no matter what. She is a very, very fiery spirit. So with that in mind, you never want to call onto her in a building or in a closed space. This is something you want to do outside. This is where a lot of this misinformation comes from. A lot of people have tried to call onto Marinette like in their house, in their closet and stuff, and their houses have burned down. So if you're going to call onto her, this is why you have to do it like outside in a very open space. This is where a lot of that misinformation comes from, where they're like, oh, people are calling out to her all deep in the woods because they know they're doing bad things. No. And this is where a lot of that information comes from, where they're like, oh, you have to get the pigs and the hens and all of that. She does need a lot of animal types of sacrifices, but that's how a lot of voodoo ceremonies do take place, whether we're talking about Haitian voodoo or other African voodoo or Hispanic-based voodoo. A lot of them do need animal sacrifices, some of them don't. But when it comes to that, there's a lot that goes into that, and only the people who are in the religion know about what the specifics of that are, which I cannot disclose. But please understand that when it comes to Marinette, she is a loi of justice, and she does not take disrespect lightly. She is only to be invoked for very serious causes only. If someone just pissed you off because they cursed you out, or if someone just got you mad because they said something wrong to you, this is not why you invoke her. You need to invoke her for legitimate purposes only. You do not want to bother her with frivolous tasks. It's going to wreak havoc on whoever you send her on. So whatever you're sending her to do, you need to make sure that that person genuinely deserves it, because one, you're going to get an insane punishment for it, and two, she gonna get that job done.
And I will say that I do make certain videos a certain way so that people don't use this information against us as they always have. But some things are just salacious and horrible on the internet, especially about Marinette, and I do not like that at all. To be quite honest with you, the only time that she really gets upset and really unleash her wrath onto you is if you hurt animals. Yes, she is a animal lover. Oh child, she will maim the hell out of you if you try to hurt an animal unjustly. Or people who burn other people alive. If you guys are not aware, there's a lot of that goes on in Haiti with people burning other people alive. If you do that, trust me, Marinette Bwa Sech will come after you tenfold. She is definitely a protector and a mother to those who cannot speak for themselves. She is a very caring loi, and she cares for those who cannot advocate for themselves, who cannot speak for themselves, who cannot stand up for themselves. Those who are oppressed or enslaved, she is always there to empower them or help them in their times of need. And part of their power lies into her broken shackles. She walks around with broken shackles, and that is one very, very iconic piece to her. Most people invoke her for rituals of healing, especially when someone is like direly sick, like on their deathbed. She is usually the one one that is called in this type of scenario. And she's also really, really good for droughts. Like if you have lots of crops that are dying and you really need to revive it, she's very good for that as well. Now, when it comes to her altar, hers is a little bit different from a lot of the other Loa. All the Loa have special different things that they like at their altars. So one of the main things that she requires is like sort of like a portal. So everyone that serves her usually has a stick in the ground, kind of like a staff stick type of situation with a loose chain coiled around it. Now this serves as a portal whenever you want to communicate with Marinette. Her offerings are black hens or black pigs, plantains, yams, and a lot of other root type of vegetables and plants. She also likes black peppers, she likes lavenders, and she loves sweets. Now you guys will probably try to look this up and they're gonna try to tell you a lot of misinformation saying that she's cruel and she likes to have, like, you know, people killed as her offering. Y'all, don't go out and try to do this nonsense. First of all, you shouldn't be doing that if you're not inducted regardless into the Haitian voodoo religion. They will tell you all of that is bullshit anyway. But I'm just saying, please do not internalize this information and think it's true, because it could not be further than the truth. Like, this one right here had to be the most ridiculous. I have no idea what Marinette did to these people that wrote these ridiculous and salacious posts, but y'all, Marinette gonna get you on y'all sleep for saying that bullshit. She also likes to sip gasoline. Yes, okay, a lot of the Loa, they love to sip their little alcohol. They like to smoke their little cigars or whatever. They salt water. No, this one, she likes her gasoline. So definitely make sure you put some gasoline on her altar. One thing that is very key to Marinette is she kind of dwells in the suffering that she has endured, and that kind of makes her kind of like a tranquil spirit, a depressing type of spirit. I hate to call it, but she's like a wallower. Like, she kind of wallows. Like, not to say that she's bad or anything, but she's that type of spirit that uses everything that has happened to her to empower her and to help her empower other people. She uses all of the hurt and the pain that she has gone through to push her and to propel her to make other people not go through the same things and to help other people out of misery. Sorceresses, okay? She is one of the best sorceresses, and to be honest, as much as people are so afraid of her, she is the most respected. No one will dare say anything disrespectful about her in her presence or about her in general. I have no idea how I was able to find all these disrespectful posts about her. I mean, to be honest, these people are probably nowhere near Haiti or in Haiti, so like that's probably how they were able to get away with these posts. But it was just like, yeah, like, people, they not gonna say nothing bad about this lady at all. Like, child, they will not, because I mean, she's been through enough. Her ceremonies are usually around a very big bonfire where gasoline and salt are used, and her colors are red and black. Let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think about Mumble Marinette? Also comment down below, what Loa do you serve? And yeah, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, follow my main channel, get your merchandise. This is from the shop. I'm definitely going to be releasing more merch. I honestly keep forgetting to drop it on the site, so follow me on Instagram to know when that drops. Like, share, subscribe, do all that, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Bye.